Welcome to the new Google Classroom. As stated in the email instructions, you may enroll from your school address or your personal address. This video tour will follow the updated project organizer linked in the body of the email. I recommend making a copy of the organizer to help keep yourself oriented while following my tour of the classroom. The second task listed on your organizer is to create a distribution plan. You are still required to submit a plan each semester, and you can still access the distribution planning documents from 3 areas in the Google Classroom: under Planning Tools and under each of the Fall and Spring project areas. Please note there is a new topic in the new Google Classroom: recipe folders. I've redesigned the recipe formats and created supporting materials to better serve you. Please note that as of October 1st, the existing Plan to Eat app will be phased out. So let's look inside one of the recipe folders. After choosing your recipe, you'll need to open the actual folder where the recipe and related materials are saved. Once inside, you'll find the recipe. You'll notice a choice of label templates that coordinate with the recipe title, an example prep schedule, a blank stations assignment that you can use as a Google slide in your teaching materials, and a template of printable reheating instructions to send home with families. By opening the recipe itself, you'll be provided with your list of ingredients and a suggested method for a base recipe of 200 servings, the per person portion, and the Kids Feeding Kids packaging weight. Below the base recipe, you'll find scaled ingredients for 250, 500, and 750 servings. This should make it simple to adjust for midpoints or up to 1,000 servings. You'll also find photos to assist you in communicating key points to your students. And finally, based on a suggestion from teacher leader Steve Venn, I've built a Google calculator in Google Sheets to automatically scale the ratios for mixing batches and packaging your meals. Instructions for using the calculator are here in the top pinkish area. A help guide can be found in the link to the right. By entering the cooked weight of all your ingredients and the number of mix batches that you need to make based on the size of your mixing bowls, the form automatically scales how much of each ingredient you need per batch. Let's switch gears for just a moment while we're thinking about the recipe and cooking, and find where I've placed the application for smallware grants related to your Kids Feeding Kids project. The application is the last item under Planning Tools and right before the recipe folders. Pause the video now or return to the grant application later to read the grant specifications. Our ability to make these purchases for you is provided by a $2,500 cash fund from Cisco Kansas City. We will honor requests submitted by the Google Forms on a rolling basis until all of the funds are depleted. Now back to the other new elements of your new Google Classroom. Remember, you must enter the date of each project on the Kids Feeding Kids master schedule. This requirement has not changed, but the look of how you access the master schedule has changed slightly. You can still access the master schedule from 3 different topics: planning tools, the fall project area, and the spring project area. Regardless of where you enter the master schedule, you can see that it takes 3 keystrokes to actually enter the entry point. This is just a feature of the new domain that I want you to be aware of. Remember, the time that you enter is irrelevant. We are really concerned with the date of your packaging of the project. If you've already scheduled your packaging date on the master schedule presented during the Summer Institutes, you'll be contacted by Teresa Love about how to copy your date to the new master schedule. If at the time of this video you haven't yet scheduled your first project, then I invite you to please do this as soon as you've enrolled in the new Google Classroom. You should already be aware from previous email and snail mail communications that we have eliminated the need for you to order dated Best By labels from us, but you will likely need more containers for your spring project. Because containers are such an essential component of your projects, we are asking you to complete the request for containers under Planning Tools and email that you have submitted a request. We appreciate the extra effort. We don't want anyone's request to fall through the cracks. But remember, the templates and instructions for self-printing your labels are now found in each recipe folder. If you click on this topic under Planning Tools, it will just refer you to the recipe folders. The process for administering and collecting data pertaining to your students' pre- and post-instructional surveys has changed significantly. You now have 100% control over the forms and the ability to collect the data in real time. The newly formatted forms are now copyable, which makes you the owner of the results. Please discontinue use of all previous links to pre- and post-student survey forms, including those provided in the summer classroom. They will be turned off by September 30th. Only newly formatted forms will remain functional. In addition to newly formatted form links, we have provided step-by-step help guides in multiple formats to assist you with the transition. So when you open pre-instructional, you will find the actual copyable survey form, and you will find 3 different supports if you are someone who is unfamiliar with utilizing Google Forms and collecting the data. Here's the link for the post-learning survey, and again, you will find a similar arrangement. Here's the survey itself for your students, or for you to copy for your students, and supporting instructions for you. Other resources like the acknowledgement letter, all the learning materials, and the reimbursement process have not changed and should be easily recognizable in places similar to those you found them in the summer classrooms. This is also true for the media resources, the teacher directory, and the link to refer a teacher to the Summer 2025 Institute. Reminders for all steps to completing your project continue on the remaining pages of the project organizer in the order of progression. You can access the entire updated project organizer under Planning Tools in the new Google Classroom. This concludes the overview of important procedural changes. A copy of this video will be linked in the new classroom under Planning Tools. I appreciate your attention and hope these improvements simplify your efforts to complete projects. Thanks for watching.